If you would like to make comments, and I would love you to make comments, please go over to the Angel Heart Radio Facebook page, and there you can join in the conversation. Elaine Ann is usually with me at this time, and unfortunately this morning that isn't possible. So I thought that I would seize the moment and have a little musing about, the fact that life really is perfectly unfolding, even when we think it certainly isn't. So let's have a little think about that. This morning, once I was aware that Elaine couldn't join me today, I had a choice. Okay, do something else, or do I come on air? And I decided that I was going to come on air, even if it's only for a few minutes, so that I can interact with people and share my thoughts about life, the things that I have been learning. And let me tell you, I have learned a lot. And the more I trust, the more I believe that everything happens for a reason, the easier it is to deal with what is in my life. And let's face it, we all have challenges. That's part of life. If every day was hunky-dory, what would we learn? It's through our challenges that we learn the most. So let's have a little think about what's happening in our own lives. Are you facing difficulties at the moment? Do you feel as though I'm juggling so many balls and how do I keep them in the air? Those of us who are fortunate to have families, we might be caring for our parents, we might be caring for our children, and if we're fortunate enough, we have grandchildren as well. There might be others who are not so fortunate and, well, in that way, and might not have the extended family that some of us have. However, there are challenges with that. How do you accept your life, no matter what it might contain? I have realised that things happen, as I said, for a reason. So whatever is happening in my life is there to show me something, to allow me to grow. And if it's a pattern that is recurring, then why? What is it that I've missed along the way? And we can all have patterns in our life. How am I to look at each day? What can we say as we greet each morning? And for some of us, that might be a very early start. And for others, we might be able to luxuriate in bed a little longer to feel the warmth of the covers around us on a chilly morning. I like to ask, how can I be of service today? Now, being of service to others is a wonderful gift. How often do we put others before ourselves? I had the good fortune to drop in on a girlfriend yesterday to ask a favour, and I could see that she was in pain. And so I asked if she was rubbing her neck, and I said, may I put my hand there? And I said, so what's going on? What's causing this? And out came the response. We often know what is going on in our lives. However, we can deny what is really in our hearts. And it's really important that we put ourselves first. How is it? How can I look after myself today? Because when we look after ourselves, we can also help others. If we ignore our own self, then wham, bam, something is going to be put in our path so that we wake up. So please take the time each day. Make that special time for you. Now, it might be first thing in the morning before the rest of the household wake up. It might be a few minutes before you pick up children from school, or before you have the delight of grandchildren to care for. It doesn't matter when it is, but make sure that you give yourself time. It might be doing a puzzle as you begin a meal or at the end of a meal. Take those few minutes. I also like to take time at the end of the day for gratitude. I must admit, I am a big one on gratitude. So I'm grateful throughout the day. I'm also grateful at night. And if I'm having difficulty falling off to sleep, that's one thing that I use. What am I grateful for? What happened today? You know, those little blessings. Somebody might have rung out of the blue. There might have been people who smiled as I went for my walk. Somebody might have dropped in to say hello. There might have been a special something in the mail. Now, all of these lovely little blessings. It might have been birds that dropped in for a feed. I was speaking to a girlfriend yesterday, and she said the magpies came right up to her front door looking for their feed. And she hasn't been well. Well, that was lovely. The fact that they were there, she could open the door and feed them, even though she wasn't well enough to go outside. What a blessing. Chrissy, thank you for joining me. Hello. What are the blessings in your life? How are you delightfully busy? I can thank Sylvia Marina for that saying. Many, many years ago, I contacted Sylvia just before Christmas. And I said, oh, how are you dealing with what's happening with, the lead up to Christmas? Because normally we're flat out. And she said, I'm delightfully busy. And I have used that terminology ever since. People will say to me, oh, Annette, you're so busy. There's so much on your plate. And I'll say, I am delightfully busy. Because I plan. Okay, I look forward to visiting my mother every week. What is it that I'm able to do on the way there? Because I live one side of Melbourne and my mother lives the other. I'm very fortunate to have the possibility of making phone calls while I'm in the car, hands-free, of course, safely. I might be able to drop in on friends over that way on my way home, depending what I have on for the rest of the day. No, it's up to us what goes into our diary. We have choices all the time, even though we might not think so. Am I able to assist the friend who rings up? No, and of course, there are emergencies when we drop everything and assist, whether it be a family member or a friend, or maybe might even be a stranger. We know that we're being called on. There are other times where we have to say, am I able to assist at this point in time? Or can I compromise and say, gee whiz, I'm not able to do that at this moment. Can we make another time? Chrissy is saying that she's very blessed for life and my daughter because I have learnt a lot. Absolutely. And I hope that those of you who are listening, who are watching at the moment, can see your blessings, can appreciate your blessings. Why are certain people in our lives in this lifetime? Why is it, or how is it, that I can be walking down the street and suddenly see someone who I might not have seen in many, many years? Or why is it that I'm in an airport and I suddenly feel drawn to speak to a particular person? It's always fascinating to realize how we've come to know the people in our lives and the people who become so significant. And Naya and I have a very strong story. Elaine Ann and I have a story. There is a story, there is a reason why we interact with those who we do. There's a reason for the experiences that we have. If your day or if your situation at the moment seems upside down, inside out, oh my goodness, why is this happening? Maybe it's time to sit quietly and wait for the reason, the answer to come. Remember, we all have angels who are wanting us to ask for assistance. I quite often ask, what is the most important thing for me to do at this moment? How am I to deal with this situation? And rather than going full steam ahead, acting with my head, I've learnt to be still and work with my heart. Listen for the answers. They come. We can make life much easier when we ask a couple of questions. If I feel that I'm in a dilemma, I can ask the question, whose responsibility is this? Am I dabbling in somebody else's affairs? Am I involved in this? Or is it something between two other people? And a question that I like to use, what would love do now? How would love respond? Simple questions, and we might not get an answer straight away. I smile because very early this morning I had a reason to be awake, and as is often the case, I turned to my phone and checked my emails, and I was hoping to book tickets, and I wasn't able to do so. And at first I was a little frustrated. This morning, I realised when I went to look at the situation again, I'm glad I was unable to book tickets because I would have double booked. I already have something on that particular night. I'm assisting family members. So see, hello, Chiller, welcome. It's lovely to have you with us. There's always a reason. So if you find that you feel as though you're pushing upstream, that life isn't flowing, there's a reason for it. Stop and have a look at what might be happening. How are you responding to something? Are you fighting that current? Are you knocking your head on a closed door? That door is closed for a reason. And rather than becoming frustrated and angry and resentful, take a moment to have another look. A way that I find is useful is if I stand back from a situation and look on it as I would as a friend rather than the person involved, because we're emotionally involved in situations. And it can be difficult. We can't see the wood for the trees, so to speak. We're looking at something from one point of view. So let's look at it from another point of view. Sometimes it's helpful to put myself in that other person's shoes. Notice I might be in a shop and the person serving me might not be smiling. I don't know what's gone on in their life to that point. In fact, am I smiling, or am I concerned about something that's happened, or am I concerned about something that might be about to happen? How often do we readily smile when we greet someone? Because smiles are infectious. And when I smile, it lifts my own spirits. Try it. Don't they say that it takes so many muscles in your arm? I'll get this around the wrong way, so I'll forget. But I know there's a difference between frowning and smiling. Well, there's a difference in how I feel when I frown as to when I smile. So let's lift our own spirits by smiling. Let's lift our own spirits by laughing. I spilt a whole lot of pumpkin soup the other night. It splashed everywhere. It was all in my fridge. It was on the floor. Oh, my goodness. And I was fortunate there was some left in the container. Gratitude for small mercies. So I was delighted actually with my attitude, because after calling myself a silly so-and-so, I could see the funny side. The container was metal. It bounced. Nothing was broken. And my fridge got a good clean, as did the floor and the walls. And my goodness me, the next morning, I even found a couple of splatters miles, well, yes, yeah, meters away. It was like, oh my goodness, that's stretched. However, I was able to laugh about the situation. As a friend said, no good crying over spilt milk. No, we have to, well, no, we've got a choice. Do we laugh or do we cry? And at times, it's important that we cry, to let out that emotion, to feel that emotion. Because if we stuff it down, it's going to occur somewhere stuck in our body. And if we push enough down, we become diseased. So it is very important that we acknowledge our feelings and then release them in appropriate ways. Put on a sad movie and have a good sook. Or put on a comedy and laugh. How good does it feel when we have a good belly laugh? We laugh so much that we have tears running down our faces. our stomach really hurts because we've just been laughing and laughing and laughing. It feels fabulous. And laughter moves any stuckness. It lifts our feelings. I trust that you have gained from my musings this morning. I hope you've enjoyed a cuppa, or you've been able to do a couple of things as you have listened. Let's take those breaths during the day, especially when we're unsure of how to act, what to do next. Just take that breath. Remember, we have help readily available because we have our angels, guardian angel, our angels that we can call in, our archangels who we can call in. We also have our earth angels. Remember your friends, remember your colleagues, remember your family members. Who would you like to be a sounding board? Because so often when we're explaining something out loud, we find our own answers. Show gratitude for those earth angels. Show gratitude, express gratitude to our angels. Thank them for being around. Thank them for their wisdom. Above all, thank yourself for your wisdom, for your actions, for your learning. It is a wonderful life. Let's see the wonder. And let's see the wonder in those challenging situations. Why has this appeared? And let's also see the miracles that appear through challenging situations. If we maybe we're in a difficult relationship and we're not happy in this relationship. Where is our responsibility? How can I respond? Because the other person, I'm not able to be in their shoes. It's what a relationship or what a situation is showing me. How is it that I can respond? Respond rather than react. What is it that I'm after? Is this relationship healthy? Is it worth working through? Because let's face it, that's why we have these challenges, to give us the opportunity to be the best we can be. So maybe there's a challenge that's really right in our face. Is this a relationship that I want? And what can I do about it to make it exactly how I would like? Miracles do happen. Miracles can happen. And I'm sure that there are little miracles happening all the time. Sometimes we don't realise. Sometimes we fail to see them. Sometimes we're so busy, we fail to see those little things. Now look at the birds. What is it around us? The miracles that happen all the time. And when there's one big aha in our life, let's wrap our arms around ourselves and give gratitude for what is occurring. Oh, wow. Thank you for joining me. I trust that you will find the blessings, the wows, and continue to make a positive difference in your life and in the lives of others. As I said, thank you. And please remember that these shows should never take the place of your legal, medical, nor professional advice, nor your own sound judgment. May you all have a wonderful, wonderful day, and smile and seize the opportunity